Look at these fire comics.
Hey everybody,
Comments.
it's Ace Attorney time. We're doing it. It's us, and we're here, and doing the thing. Are you
Technically,
excited?
I could just never speak, and then you'd look insane.
I always look insane, Josh. That's my secret. Load the selected save data. I think we were like just heading into the trial.
Could be.
Let me open up the guide that I usually have, actually, just so I don't go wrong.
It sounds possible.
Attorney walkthrough. I need trial day 4. Oh, this is a different website. Huh. No, I want the one I usually use. It looks nicer. It's formatted better. Okay, there we go. Day 4. Okay.
I'm not going to go buy a webcam, Molly guy. What do you think? I'm made of money?
I also don't know how that would even work.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
I'll
hypothetically...
be honest, I didn't know if Steven was going to be using the avatar for this stream. And now I have my answer.
I just sort of decided to just now. So, yeah, okay. February 25, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. This is the defendant lobby, all right? Yeah, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if... I don't know who this is. Something's been happening behind the scenes.
Something's happened behind the scenes.
Oh, it's Edgeworth.
Oh, it's Edgeworth.
Edgeworth.
Briefly made Edgeworth a creepy, weird hag of some sort.
I was doing
really gotta
that
fix
voice.
my volume
I was
levels
doing
on
that voice to frighten you, Mr. Wright. And I believe it
I
worked.
was You thought I was somebody else. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is, that is.
Well, I have a pretty strong hunch.
A static Josh avatar. It's just an orb that, like, floats.
Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out.
You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True. Not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right? And Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty.
But she didn't do it.
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say.
Hi again, Nylar.
Hi, Nylar.
This is the first
Jinx,
time he's
you owe
ever
me a
done
Coke.
something like this.
You also can't speak till I say your name.
Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth
You're so
is
mean
to
to
draw
me.
it out of her. Well, that wasn't me, that was Phoenix. That was me, though.
With a pencil. Oh, I see. The truth.
Everything goes back to the SL-9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
That depends on you.
Hmm.
If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in court, right? Instantly asks for a verdict.
This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now.
Please let me know. If this ain't love, you better tell me so, or whatever.
Yeah,
I haven't listened to Huey Lewis in the news in a long time.
This is love, you better let me know.
Me
Or go,
know
perhaps.
if this is it.
I it's no or go.
Please let me know.
February
I think it's
25th,
go on the
10
second
a.m.
one.
District Court, courtroom
So
number
I'm pretty
9.
sure the first one's no.
Ah.
Rabble, 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 rabble.
Court is now in session.
Wow.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
I just kind of ate my own tongue at the end there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Listen, it happens. Sometimes I get too into the grumble, and it's just like. Ah, God, it does crack me up though. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is what the prosecution would say this opening statement.
Eh?
But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gant?
Oh God, he's here.
He just slowly fades in.
Holy shit.
Morning,
That was
folks. How's
genuinely
everyone doing?
terrifying.
Hey, OG, been back to the pool yet?
No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work.
Ha! Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that.
If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours?
Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Okay. Does one of us have
Well,
to
I guess
accept...
I'm here now.
Does one of us have to accept this request, or can he just say, yeah, do it, and then we do it? Like...
Well, he is Police Chief Gant. So, I mean, you know. I forgot what skip my line.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you?
And basically,
Oh,
said,
I
what's
didn't
this
even get to
about?
see what it was.
What's all this then?
What's this about?
What's all this then?
Sorry. I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana. Bad.
But that's
Bad
literally not
defendant.
what happened, though.
Objection! You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, you're fired. I no longer require your services.
But Lana,
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
this can't be happening.
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
I really hope Edgeworth just also says no.
Yep. Yep.
Do
that was
it.
him.
Do it. Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! Not so fucking fast.
Not on my watch, motherfucker.
I do not. One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth!
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature.
Fuck yeah. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, hmm?
Fuck you, that's why. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
What?
This is getting hard. This is getting hard to do these line reads because I just want to go ah for like 2 minutes.
Right?
I love smug ass Edward.
Edgeworth at the
another
end of
fabric.
Ace Attorney 1 is the fucking... I love their dynamic at the end. It's so good.
It's very good. Where he's just like, no. I also think this is bullshit. Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you wouldn't have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Some kind of deal, hmm? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Whom? To whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony.
Fuck yeah.
Can you just plead guilty mid-trial? I mean, I guess so.
I guess technically
Like,
you can.
it-
Because, I mean, they
I
say
guess
anything you say can be used against you in a court of law, even if you say it in the court of law.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in the actual judicial system, it would be weird because you have to like enter a plea, but you could probably partway through trial just say like, nah, I give up.
I give
And
up,
then,
I
like,
did it.
If your lawyer's not willing to change the plea, you could probably just fire them, like
You'd
she
be
did
like,
here,
Yeah, exactly. She's like, well,
and
then
just
fuck
enter
you.
your own plea. Like, it would be weird, but I think you theoretically could. I don't know how it works in this world though, because this is like a, you know, they don't follow
It's a
rules
gross
here.
oversimplification of the court system. It's also
At
based on, I
best.
think, the Japanese court system, not necessarily the American one, because there's no fucking jury here.
It's just one guy, one awesome judge guy, who is somehow both so wise and yet doesn't know what most
So
things are.
fucking stupid. Little bit of
Mr.
both.
Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye.
Oh,
Bitch! The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
yeah.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request.
Edgeworth is... I just love him so much. From the beginning of the game where he's all like, all I care about is guilty verdicts, to him being like, no, we find out what actually fucking happened in this court, goddammit.
Or so help me God.
I will tear this bitch down like Jesus at the temple.
Yeah, that's basically what I thought, Nyla. I don't see why they would prevent you from... Like, the only thing would be maybe if, like, your lawyer... If you, like, re-backtracked and your lawyer was, like, trying to say that your guilty plea was just, like, a brief bout of insanity or something. But, like, I feel
imagine
like
your
you
lawyer
could just say you're
probably
guilty.
object to it, but...
Yeah.
That's okay with you, right, Chief Kent? There's no
Worthy,
problems there, right?
You'll live to regret this. Mark my words.
There's no problem bringing Emma Skye here, right? Like, she's not kidnapped or anything, or being held against her will. Obviously.
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 Yeah, right. I mean, yeah.
Can you guys bring in the lunch lady again? I am so out of...
Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Fuck yeah.
Oh, she's actually just here. All right. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a
That's
scientific
not an
investigator.
occupation.
Neither
of those are
But moving on.
2 years ago, You encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark Killings. Patent pending. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time in explicit detail.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember that the trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Okay then, alright. Sure.
You sure gave it fast.
Remember how like we have to like prove it and like point out a piece of evidence and like highlight a circle a picture or some shit, and Edgeworth is just like yes.
Edgeworth is just like,
And
yes,
he
it
just
does. And
stares
Judge is
at the
like,
judge.
all right. Fuck, I guess.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Da 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 da. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall
Hold it.
rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
God, his head is just so onion-shaped.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
He's just flying by the seat of his pants.
Now he knows what it's like to
Very
be
well.
Phoenix Wright.
Dude, has Phoenix ever been prepared for a single thing in his goddamn Forsaken life?
No, because
No,
half of
the
the
answer is
shit,
no.
half of the shit that he needs to do his job isn't told to him until the day he gets there.
He is just like making shit up always. He is just a guy that is just adrift on the ocean. But goddamn if he isn't a capable pilot. I meant sailor. Whatever. Metaphor got tangled up in there.
Very well, the defense may begin this resolution.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Ba,
Waiting,
ba, ba.
man, Marshall. What did you see in that incident?
Are you
I'd
sure?
love to know.
What
Hold
did you
it!
see?
Can you tell us about
Emma.
that?
Talk more.
Mr. Marshall jumped on dark. Just then, the lights went out. Did the game freeze, or... Oh, everything froze. Hold up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, there we
The
go.
lights!
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and the lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out?
Just like it happened here.
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. Its sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more, I assume? Why, that's enough. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
Sorry, I was I was watching the stream back of my little mod view thing, and the facial rig's right eye is just doing its own thing.
Yeah,
It's really cracking me up.
yeah, it's
I know it's new technology, but it's just very funny to watch.
Yeah, Well, if I turn away, it just sort of goes off on its own.
The fucking... Oh god, the lazy eye thing is really getting to me.
That's the
I have to
unfortunate
stop
thing is that
watching this.
my eye is just like that.
Mhm.
Hold on, I can fix it. And then if I go to here,
Oh.
I could just turn on auto blink and then it doesn't track my blinking. There we go. Cool. Fixed for now.
Oh, is that how they do that?
Yep.
But it was fucking funny as shit. I was really distracting me. I was like,
Well, I'm sorry.
I was like, no, that's good shit, dude. That was content. Oh man, the wonders of new technology.
Right?
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw.
Yes, but at the time the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a
Everybody's choking now.
Time's up. Over. Blah. Blip.
Overblit.
A picture. Yes, I think
I
she
love how
mentioned that
Edgeworth and the
before.
judge are asking the witness questions during being cross-examined. Oh well, yeah, you know.
Yeah, don't worry.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Asked about. Yeah.
Gonna give up?
This
Gonna
picture the
cry?
witness drew.
Maybe piss and
I
shit?
believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Oh, we know where that is.
Yeah, we do.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
would mind?
I drew a picture of this scene one, but it seems to have been lost. Oh, has it?
Oh, has it?
Now, which one is it? This. Oh, it's
That-
the only.
that-
It's the
it's
only
on the
half
back
we
of that.
have, right? I'm just gonna double
Yeah,
check. Just to make
It's
sure.
on the back. We don't have the other half.
Yeah,
Edgeworth has it.
Edgeworth has the other half, right? We saw it on his desk.
She
yes.
opened her mouth, but spaghetti won't come out.
Objection! Mr. Edgeworth,
I hope he does the smug face.
this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. All right, that's a little. And yet you would insist on denying its existence?
I am on your side right now. Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't
there it is.
exist. Behold!
There it is. Look at this photograph.
I
Wait, he
love-
actually said behold.
He said, behold. Behold!
Behold! My arcane magics! Okay, anyways,
This is the evidence list for the SL-9 incident.
Please turn
Half
it
of
over,
it.
Your Honor.
Turn it over. Turn it. Ah! What's this?
What's this?
yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here.
That was the wrong one.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
I stole it!
I stole it from
Only
a
the
safe.
I stole it from the safe in Officer Gant's room.
In the chief
Don't worry about it.
Police office. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Hey, does this meet evidence law? By the way, probably not. That's not important anymore.
Does
Don't
this
think about
mean
it.
it was literally only important for that one exact moment, and then it disappeared back into the aether.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one.
Judge is just like is putting it together like a puzzle.
You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What? I don't know how to do a loud voice in that
What?
southern accent. Like,
Say what?
What? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Man, I love that show.
Good show.
Anyways, good show.
Mortar. But, Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor?
They already had the F.
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's possible. Let's see.
Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask?
Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. God, he recovers fast. It's that thing. No fucking way. The music! Steven, I can't. Steven, I can't right now. It's actually, I feel I've suddenly had all the energy drained from me. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Oh my god. Oh, that's good.
Oh no, my chest is like tightening. I think I'm having a heart attack.
Oh my god. It broke the rig. I was laughing so hard. It lost track of my face because I was fucking reeling. Oh shit,
my
dude.
God, that took me by so much surprise. I actually have a slight headache now.
Fucking Edward.
My fucking
Edward's
God.
reaction makes perfect sense now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's... that thing.
We already didn't notice it in 2 years.
Listen, he doesn't flip pages over. That's the front is on the front, you know.
That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence list restored and updated in the court record. Let's take a look at that real quick.
Very well, witness.
I mean...
Okay.
Alright. Is a little...
What am I...
Yeah.
What do you think it was supposed to be?
I mean, I guess we'll find out. It was something.
Maybe it was that vase.
Could be the
We still haven't
vase.
pieced that vase in here.
Oh yeah, do you
I
want
also
to
like how Swissy's...
take a look at the vase real quick?
Well, the vase has like 3 ball things on it. Kinda. Yeah, kinda does.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't know.
Anyway,
Maybe.
could be the vase.
Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Also, I like that Swissy's picture still rotates through on this, even though Swissy hasn't been here since like episode 3.
Yeah. Oh, that's me. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
Oh, the fucking blue badger.
The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. After that I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Just 2 vague silhouettes.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dog about a murder prosecutor near Marshall.
Does it?
Yes. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
He's still here in spirit. Yeah. The dumbass that is. I mean, I did spill water earlier. That was probably Swissy's spirit.
Yeah. It's exactly what I saw in that instant. Let me check something. I mean, I know the right answer, but, like, I want to check the evidence.
Yeah, because you're cheating.
Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured lung.
Yeah.
That's correct as far as I can tell. Single stab wound piercing the heart lung. Cause of death, it just says stab wound in here, but it does say in the back on this part.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, if we look at this, why is it blunt?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like, it's not a knife. It's just like a stick. It's like a big-ass USB drive.
It's something. It was clearly stabbed. Objection! I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still
Just
remember
holding
just
the
like it
fucking
was yesterday.
Why my bro holding a cannoli then?
Mr. Wright. Perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contains the contradiction?
Or whatever, because you skipped
Take
it.
that! The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closer to see that, Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
Yeah, but that broke off in the guy,
In
right?
the man, yeah. And it was only
If
stabbed
I
once.
recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
Murder!
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Objection! Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. You know, you just said it.
Yeah, but fuck you.
If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. But what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
Objection! That's why I asked her
There's
so many
so many
times if she was sure
objections.
she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Objection! Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten
Oh my
already
god.
about a little something called falsified evidence?
You're treading on thin ice, right?
All I'm saying is that a broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the
Put it in
possibility.
his body. They shoved it in that stab wound. No.
Ugh.
The decisive evidence is the part that they forged, obviously. Why would they forge
Order!
non-decisive
Order!
evidence? What would be the point?
We found out that he had ordered McDonald's 2 hours before dying, and they have like a fake receipt.
Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark.
Or was he?
It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being 2 broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's.
Yeah, it's the one on
There
the
have been
weapon.
one?
On the...
It's the one on the
Why'd they make that out of an actual knife though?
If the witness is adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume then that you have some other information about this other broken knife. If so, feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon.
Show him that trophy in the photo.
Take that! The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past.
We have to go back to the past.
Right here inside this picture.
This pictures of the award ceremony.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon.
That's one thing I do appreciate about this game is that Edgeworth and Wright are actually like pretty smart most of the time. Like the only reason Phoenix doesn't figure out things is because we're playing the game. But like canonically he does figure them out. But Edgeworth noticing things right before we say them is very choice. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding.
This is you.
That's me. That's a broken knife. Well, technically it's a broken lance. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Why was that a removable part of the...
Listen, there's so many questions. Did they take an actual knife, like one that failed on Forged in Fire, and they just slapped it on there, and they're like,
cast
perfect.
it and fucking...
Like,
green.
or are you telling me they cast this out of green metal, or cast it in metal, painted it green, but then also like, we should make this part removable just in case. How heavy would that trophy be if the shield and sword was just all like full ass metal, right?
Solid
like not
steel,
even. Normally
yeah.
it's like that. Normally it's that like really, you felt a trophy top before. Normally it's like that really flimsy sort of shitty stuff. Doesn't really feel like real metal. Why would it not be that?
This one's prestigious.
Get it.
Order.
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. What?
I think the stream's hiccuping.
Oh.
By the way.
It seems fine on this end. There was a couple of frame drops, but I'm still going, baby.
Okay.
Are you good? On your end? Okay. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. The broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
But that can't be.
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh. Oh! Ooh!
But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Hold it, I assume. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Well, that's convenient. Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture, I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. Da, da, da,
Music.
da,
The music
da,
kicking
da,
in kills me.
da, 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 da. Oh, this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony.
Probably, yeah.
Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. Emma's recollection, witness testimony. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and I rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly most unusual.
Try
Seeing the
impossible.
Seeing the blue badger is indeed a traumatic event most of us would block.
It's true, I've tried to forget that video as much as possible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Oh god, he's always existed.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Oh god, new pose. Stop! Please, in the name of love, don't pursue this any further.
Lana!
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter.
Stop. It will not be contained.
I saw that man raise his knife. I panicked to rush towards thing and knocked at the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I saw his shadow. Hold it!
Press more.
His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
Objection! That may well be.
There have been more
What's
objections
important
shouted
is
in this one case than the entire game.
I know. But what's important is
It's
what caused her
awesome.
to think she saw what she did.
Oh? And I suppose you have an explanation. Then, if so, by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed?
Vase.
Who is this blue badger, really? I just might know. The blue badger hadn't
just
even been
might
dreamt
know.
up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, There indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright.
In this room?
Looks around for the Blue Badger. Oh God.
Where is he?
Not again.
Very well, Mr. Wright.
You just slowly see him moving up behind the judge in this shot.
The music starts getting louder. Terrible.
What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious Blue Badger lookalike.
His vase
The fucking
is-
vase. Take that.
It's a vase.
The mysterious
vase.
Blue Badger was in fact this.
A vase vital to this case.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything
But
like
jar
the Blue
doesn't rhyme
Badger.
with case. Oh no.
Indeed it doesn't. And as it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However,
But turn it to
what
this
if we were to
way.
change our viewpoint?
Imagine this being in the actual court when he does this. When he goes, "You're right, it doesn't look anything." But, and then all smugly, he just walks up and turns it on its side.
Our viewpoint?
I've got to show the correct angle to look at this from. Stop.
No.
I believe.
You gotta like 180 it
It's
from where you are.
It's a little.
Yeah,
it's
like yeah.
How do I?
I think
rotate
yeah,
it?
you gotta.
No.
No, not quite. You're getting there. I think you gotta maybe tilt it more forward.
The angle is. Oh, there's rotates buttons. Ah, there we go.
Ah, there we go.
This is
Okay,
right.
I was
Gotta
gonna
make
say.
it look more like the Badger.
Wait, that wasn't it? Allow me to remind the defense this case hinges on the witness's drawing. If this ride can't match the shape the witness drew, we cannot accept his claim.
I've got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more, or horizontally? Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it. I gotta show them the correct angle. Look at this one. I'm glad they can't fail. I'm glad they aren't gonna fail us on this one.
What if the bottom was towards us?
Yeah, it's like this. I'm looking at the picture right now. I'm just trying to get it to match. Oh, I hit. You know what happened? I hit E instead of R.
I see.
Okay, so. Fucking. What is the up? Why is it H? Why is it H? Is this good enough? Take that. There we go.
There we go.
Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger.
Imagine that sentence out of context. Imagine being the fucking court reporter who has to type that. Also, no, it can't be.
Fuck.
Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this jar.
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one of him just fiddling with the jar until it fucking one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So the badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Objection! I think it does. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed? Very well then, please tell us. The jar was falling. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? The murder weapon. Right? It was actually a jar?
I think it's all. It says the answer doesn't matter because all three of them are technically correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, these all seem correct, but the most obvious one to me would be murder weapon.
Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
Hey, at a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Objection! Yes, and it's these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
It's kind of the same office, technically. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly. Imagine being Edgeworth and every time you say, like, none of this makes any sense, Phoenix is like, you're correct, it doesn't make sense.
You're right.
With the fucking most assured, like, confident expression in the world. And Edgeworth just
That's
has to die.
absolutely correct.
He just has to fucking die inside a little every time.
every time.
If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what the reason was, Mr. Wright?
No.
I didn't think I'd get this far.
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next
she
instant,
knocked
the
him
jar
into
was
the
hit and
jar.
flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the
Sky
jar
was
flying?
the murderer. Oh my god, Emma killed Marshall.
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
Oh wait, that's you. The suit of armor. Yeah.
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, it would have to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless... I don't know if I can go through with this.
Yo, Emma, you killed a guy.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall, yeah. Got him.
Everybody just blinks slowly. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me?
Yeah, you killed the guy. Congratulations.
No. Thud.
Thud, there she goes.
Thud.
It's and then all of a sudden they just hear like a Wild West whistle and a tumbleweed, and Jake Marshall emerges from the crowd and immediately just kills Emma. It's like, I knew it. I knew she'd done it.
She fell over because he was holding a fucking sniper rifle.
he's across the street. He's like, I'm sorry, Bambina.
I knew it
Fuck.
would come to this.
I knew it would come to this. Sheds one manly tear, takes a swig of whiskey. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life. Guilty. That's gonna be like 15 years in prison. Oops, and then prove so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. And she's gone.
Object. Nope.
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that, coming from you.
Ho-ho!
Got him. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't, because I destroyed all of it.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
Huh? We certainly can't get dead people to testify.
Or can we? Calls up Maya.
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Ooh, he's got some. Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
Huh? You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean, the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another. That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
What's the jar again, right?
I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind?
He's in the evidence.
This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Because wasn't there like weird blood stains on that jar?
Yes, there was.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
It's not my fault she killed the guy. What do you want?
Listen, I'm just here for justice, man. Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us a piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Jar. Take that.
Jar
This
time.
is the message left by the deceased.
That is that blue badger from before, right?
Okay, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
E-M-A, yeah. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Good thing we have Lumino!
Yes, but notice, for some reason the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there's a line here drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. And the victim's message will become apparent.
No!
Yes.
God, she nervous.
Mr. Wright! What kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. We've got to connect these dots to
clearly
make letters.
Emma.
There's only one
Oh, we
thing
don't
the
get to
victim would have
luminol
written
it?
in the circumstances. His murderer's name. Now we just
We
gotta...
don't get to... We just gotta... I mean, it's very obvious that spells Emma. Oh, wow. How is this on PC? Does
Bad.
this suck?
This was much easier on a touch screen.
Yep. Do you have to connect up the E or is that fine?
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. It's probably fine. I assume. Is he doing this, like, on the evidence? Like, with, like, a marker?
Yeah, I don't see any way to connect. There's no option to connect
Oh,
these,
it
so I
doesn't
guess
let you.
it's fine.
Yeah, it's probably fine. Should be fine.
Take
I mean,
that!
that still says Emma, obviously.
It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life.
Was Emma Skye. Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you.
Hey, what's up, dude? I can't wait till that game that Emma Skye is in, and the whole time I just get to be like, pretty bold words from a murderer. Just invalidating everything she says or does. Sounds like something a murderer would say. Chief Game.
You understand the implications of what you've done.
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not?
Ick.
Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Objection!
Nah,
But Joe
fuck
Dark
you.
really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm gonna prove that too.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know, we aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing
True.
a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. Whoa, that's a loud
Yeah,
one.
but
What's
it's
going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent a
It's
man to
much
death.
funnier to
How
call
could he
her a
just
murderer,
stand there like it wasn't his fault?
Order! 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 Order!
I'm yelling as loud as I can.
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf
I'm
ears.
very terrified that one of my apartment neighbors is gonna be like, "Who the fuck is?" Every Thursday, like clockwork.
Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. To be continued. Right now!
In Phoenix, Wright 3.
We're not even on 2 yet.
I know, wouldn't that be funny though?
The final day. The trial letter.
February 25, 1206, District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Nope, I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, Guess I am. I'll come back later.
Aw. Wait,
Aw.
Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
Well, you've got a lot of nerve, pal. Make a detective run around all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
This is all feeling
Didn't
a
you
little
say
bit
all that-
like I take it Lana's having you run errands again.
That's all Groundhog's Day. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there's a break in today's trial.
Evidence
Evidence
law?
law.
Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day.
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
Shh, maybe this only applies to prosecutors and not defense attorneys.
Apparently.
Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
A message?
She said that if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book.
Him. I guess
I
need to
wrote
give
it
this
on
book a
my
thorough
hand
read.
so I wouldn't forget.
Evidence law securely slipped into pocket. Let's take a look at that
Doesn't
real quick.
look like that book will do you any good now, though. Or you
God,
could just
we have-
read it while I'm standing right here.
We have so much fucking evidence. Unregistered evidence must be relevant to the case on trial.
Oh, that's how we get around it.
I guess so. Because, yeah, everything we find is in fact relevant.
Uh-huh. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, detective.
Huh? Man, these evidence laws sure seem important. I'm sure it'll come back in future games. Yeah! Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there to do? Your credibility's been all ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. And the Sky found out she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now, you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal!
You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there.
What?
And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end.
Well, there
February
goes
25.
Detective Gumshoe. Back off to the great unknown.
12:52.
What do you think he does when he's
Important
not
number.
giving evidence to Phoenix Wright?
Polishing Edgeworth's boots.
Probably.
Cleaning his office.
Filling out lost and found tickets
Yeah, for his
for his various
ID.
things, for his ID.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pardon me.
The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Eating cheap instant ramen.
Yes, well, ahem. Normally, this is where the prosecution calls for the witness, but, ahem. This isn't easy to say. You see, there's some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have,
Struck a bargain.
Eh?
You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and,
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
your solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
Well, settle. The defense may now call forward the next witness.
Mr. Wright,
Eh?
you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
The defense calls. Time's finally come to bring out the real
Officer
murderer.
Meekins!
It was him all along.
I mean, I get... It is funny. Well, you can call Gumshoe? Motherfucking... Why?
I don't know.
Also, you can call Goodman, the guy who's dead.
I would love it if there were.
Holy shit.
I would love it if there were actually any like funny thing that happened if you do that, but I'm pretty sure it's just game over or you.
It just fails the thing. Can you scroll slowly so I can read all these quick though?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
David Gant, age 65, District Chief of Police. Though he may not seem it, he's top dog in the PD. Mike Meekins, age 22, patrolman in the General Affairs, suspected of killing Goodman in the evidence room. Jake Marshall, age 33, a patrolman investigating the incident at the prosecutor's office, thinks he's a cowboy.
Is a cowboy.
Is a
Correction.
Cowboy. Bruce Goodman, age 36, the victim and a good man. Detective in criminal affairs who handled the SL-9 case. Dick Gumshoe, age 30. He's only 30? Shit. Detective in a local precinct in charge of initial investigation. Lana Sky, age 29. The defendant, a chief prosecutor for the district, wounded on her right hand. Emma Sky, age 16. High school junior and self-styled scientific investigator. Client, sister of Lana Sky. Angel Starr, 31.
He does have a
mysterious lunch lady. The witness to the murder, known as the Cough-Up Queen.
Yeah, so anyways, it's Gant.
Yes. Take that! Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
Everything. As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True.
So I'm scrolling down.
All right, bailiff. Please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
The Gant stand.
The Gant stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Oh, I love lunch. Where do you get it?
Your name and occupation, sir.
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this?
Your name and occupation.
So, you want to play hardball, eh?
Please, Mr. Gant.
Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL-9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. Fucking hell, dude. Instantly. There are still some things unaccounted for.
What a guy.
Oh, like what?
I'm
Like
glad
the
you
role
went
you
with
played in all
Midwestern
this.
for this guy. It
Yeah.
fits very well with the way he calls people Righto.
Righto in sport and asks about swimming
In sport.
all the time.
Yeah, and it really makes him come off as just that much more of an asshole. This is nothing worse than a smug Midwesterner.
Nothing.
Oh, I see your football team there isn't doing so hot. Oh, shucks, maybe next year, huh?
Maybe next
Oh,
year.
I see you're You're one of those Miracle Whip families. That's good too if you don't like real mayonnaise.
Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish.
Both. It could
You
be
are
both.
aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons?
Like literally, I'm going to fucking shoot you.
Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. No one else does, apparently.
As a man who lives in the Midwest, I wholeheartedly agree. I'm telling you, right? Oh God, we got some real cunts out here in these hills. They're the worst kind, right? They're not obvious about it. They're just very conniving.
Extremely passive-aggressive.
Extremely. Oh, I see you've decided to not mow your lawn. Going with some sort of new chic lawn decor there. What with the weeds and the bald spots. No, it's very classy, very classy. Is that what they do in the big city? It's the worst. I need to stop before I get off on a tangent.
Josh could be on about this all day.
I could. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
So that implies that other people like have to give testimony, like they can't refuse it, which is kind of weird, isn't it?
I think
Because like at least in the American court system,
yeah, you have
because like
you can refuse to. Yeah.
we could just be like, you don't have to say a single word from the instant you get picked up by police. You could just silently stare at them for like 72 hours.
There's nothing technically stopping. Yeah, that's like this game it's quote unquote set in San Francisco, but it's very based on the Japanese court system.
Yeah, well, I don't know anything about Japanese court law, so I don't know if that's true there or if this is just a fabrication of the game. Because clearly this game takes a lot of liberties.
Yeah.
But it's just fun to point out when it's like says some weird shit like only the chief of police is immune from this. Can you refuse a subpoena? You can't refuse a subpoena, but you don't have to say anything. Like the subpoena just means you have to show up in court. You don't have to say anything. You just show up and be like,
Yep.
I plead the fifth. Like every question they ask, you can respond with, I plead the fifth. Fifth? I plead the fifth. Or you can just say something like, advice of my lawyer. On the advice of counsel, I will not answer a question.
Ah, makes sense.
or if you're the president, you can also
you can also just not answer.
You know, Damon Gant is kind of orange himself.
Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony.
SL-9 Incident, witness testimony. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning them that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana in there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
Is that when Dark was arrested?
Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head.
I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut.
If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast.
This is why you shouldn't have medieval weaponry that is one, sharpened, and two, pointing outward at like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
Wildly unsafe.
Had nothing to do with it. Fucking bullshit. We found shit in your safe about it.
Little did you know, I've already broken and entered your office, dumbass.
Objection! You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery? but I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example.
That's the blue you showed us earlier.
A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. He just ignores him.
By the blue badger.
Not only that, but the evidence list I
Drawing
presented
was there
earlier
too.
was actually found inside your desk.
It was found where?
You see, Chief Gant? These articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation.
Was how did a 14-year-old girl have enough strength to send a middle-aged man flying with the force to implant half of a sword inside him? Because he was off balance because of the storm?
Yeah, the storm had him,
The storm had him all shook up, you know how when storms get and you're like all jumpy because you know, ooh, it's a storm outside.
Lightning could strike any time. You know how humans are actually dogs?
She's 14, so she's kind of short, right? So like she got that low center of gravity, just bowled out his legs, but that would make him fall forward. So she must have like impacted him on the.
He fucking gave
Maybe
him a
there were
Shoryuken.
banana peels on the floor.
Hit him with the Shoryuken.
Shouldn't have made your password sevens, you fool.
Chief Gant, what's the meaning with this?
Oh! Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? I wasn't even a lawyer 2 years ago. Well, you were the ones who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that
True.
right, Righto?
Technically. However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
Nice, nice, nice.
What?
Nice,
If
nice.
Gumshoe's salary
nice,
drops any further,
nice,
he'll end up paying for
nice. That's true. His salary's super low, but also, I mean, like, you're just gonna gloss over a sentence? Dick will receive his
work.
punishment.
It's pretty solid.
Nice.
Nice.
Anyways,
Nice.
Nice. I'm gonna put this in the chat so it shows up in the
In the pod, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
In the VOD. Get in the VOD.
Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
My. Sorry. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together.
I'm like 80 years old.
Let's see, what was it? A jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
when investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again.
To be fair, like, I know obviously this guy's an evil piece of shit,
Right.
but to be fair,
He shouldn't have
Wright
broke into
does
a
need
safe.
to stop just breaking into things and like stealing stuff, especially from safes, because he's done that twice now. Where he keeps breaking into safes. Like, you can't do that. That's not. You can't do that.
You can't do that, yeah.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know.
All right, Udgy. In return, though?
I know. That place, right?
Huh? What are these guys, telepathic?
They go and they have a nice sandwich somewhere.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wouldn't help me out in any way. Bullshit. Hold out.
Bullshit. I'm hearing a little bullshit.
Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police.
Oh,
The resolution of the SL-9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL-9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway.
Yeah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motive for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. It's so you could have leverage over the chief of prosecutors.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Would you mind if I change my testimony a little?
by all means, please do.
I love he's just like starting to slowly admit he's an asshole because it's not technically illegal to be a jackass.
Yep.
It wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there were nothing in it for me. Hold it.
Nothing
in it
hold
for
it,
you?
bitch.
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Ho ho ho! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out?
Yeah. Point out accomplice.
True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I mean.
Very well, then. Who is this person you believe Chief Cat may have helped forge evidence?
The one who forged the evidence.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Take that!
Pardon?
Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant?
I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister,
A good book
Lana?
series.
And as for Chief Gant, he would have also had a reason to help Lana if she asked him to.
Was that misfortunate?
Series of unfortunate events, I believe. That reason, of course, is self-profits.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL-9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
Got him!
But how would he profit from all this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Oh, do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Every once in a while, he just says something. I love how they just ignore him sometimes.
The judge is truly a very interesting man. I can't tell if he's really smart or incredibly stupid. It's very weird. He's just like a guy. I don't.
Yeah.
You tried to tell me this motherfucker plays with puppets? This
I don't
motherfucker's
believe
got a Pinocchio in his closet. I don't believe you. You're full of shit.
You assisted Lana
continue.
Sky in forging evidence. Your motive? To appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Right, oh my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana.
No, because she's being
She's
controlled.
being quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant.
The judge represents the duality of man. I think that's what it is.
I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than conjecture. Mere conjecture.
Unless that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Which one would that be?
Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her.
Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Just what do you mean? Did you just make a threat in court?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What? What? Say what?
Say what?
Say what? Order, I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious.
Huh?
This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder. Impossible.
And yet? Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language.
Just pawns it off on him. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
Looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this.
Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? I mean, I'll hear you out, but I'm way over here, and you need to get me to here. That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder.
Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. And what is a man? A miserable little pile of lies. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good.
Ooh, let me guess.
Shows us evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman.
Oh, it's the ID badge, right? Is that
Yeah.
one of them?
Yeah,
Are there multiple options?
it's the record, yeah. Because his number was the one that we didn't know that was on here. The one
Yeah.
that showed up 20 minutes before
Sevens.
Edgeworth did. Take that!
Bada bing!
This is the ID card list.
Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. Eh?
What? How do you know that?
The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits? You don't mean...
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7777777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Oh, he's pissed now.
Oh, hey, we're finally getting to him. Eat shit, orange suit.
Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Chief Kent, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime?
What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
Tell me, when you entered the evidence room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. What?
Oh, I see. I ruined it by accidentally throwing in the evidence room. I threw in the word evidence by accident. Ruined the joke.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Yeah, of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. Objection! You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
Because they were closing out the evidence.
What do you mean? The trial's purpose is to determine the honest guy's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth.
We need a trial where Wright defends himself for something he actually did.
If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we will need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Shows proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime.
Oh, let me guess again.
Alright. I think it's on this page.
Alright, go slowly across.
The shoe, no. The knife.
No.
The testing fluid. The ID card record. The fingerprinting set. That random screwdriver that Edgeworth has for some
That was
reason. That doesn't prove that he was with Goodman, though.
No, that doesn't do
Goodman's lost item report.
it.
Evidence room floor
The
plan.
lost item report can only be submitted to the chief of police.
Take that!
Does that prove it?
Yes. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or, to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed to?
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
No.
Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. That's me, sorry. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly.
But wait! The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the...
Sorry, but that's not possible.
Yeah?
According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you really had lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, holy shit. Is he being struck by lightning? What the hell was that? Is he becoming a demon?
Chief Gant, you did.
The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know.
And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Kent, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space.
The blue badger. Oh, sorry, this is me.
How
Yeah,
could the
it's
chief
not
have
going on.
moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence.
To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this.
Please tell me it's the blue badger.
It's not.
Ah, fuck. Alright, then go through it again, let me guess. Was Edgeworth's...
It was Edgeworth's car,
it was Edgeworth's car, right? Yeah?
Yeah, so either the parking stub or the screwdriver will work, because he told him to get the screwdriver, and the parking stub proves that Edgeworth went there. In his car. Which is, to be fair, should be pretty obvious considering it was there.
Yeah.
Edgeworth's car spontaneously teleported, which is weird. Take that!
It's
This
so,
is how
it's
he
so
moved
crazy.
Detective Goodman's body.
What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case?
Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here?
It's here because...
Ah!
I was asked to go by Chief Gant on this. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office.
But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to.
You mean I...
The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car.
Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car?
Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye.
What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite.
It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Cat, please say something.
I believe... your time's up.
My time's up.
Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special. Objection! But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
What? A right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this?
Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright,
Your Honor?
do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Mrs. Sky dispose of his body?
Do I have any concrete proof? No.
No,
We don't.
we don't.
It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. Huh. See, Yoji?
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief.
What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Aji, I'll leave the rest to you. Bye!
I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
What?
Lady Luck, maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
A lady who knows the truth. Another witness.
In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
Yeah, but there's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth. But we can't just stop now.
I wonder who it could possibly be.
Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth...
It's clearly Angel Star,
Dick
the cough
Gumshoe.
up queen. It's Dick Gumshoe.
Take that!
Yeah, it's Lana.
The defendant? Miss Lana Sky?
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony.
Okay, this last section is really short, so I think we should probably just power through it.
But time.
Comparatively short.
This is the court is now in recess.
Hold on.
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, it's him back.
Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
Wow, he's just doing it in court,
This
huh?
isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. All right, then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Bye.
Did that guy just threaten a witness in my court? I mean, that was blatant. Okay. If there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
I mean, they didn't even try.
No. February 25, 2:04 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2.
Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That sounded sarcastic, but it wasn't.
That chief, he's something else, eh, pals?
Detective Gumshoe.
I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Ah, don't worry. I've already decided where to work now.
At your office.
My office?
Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with.
Could he mean Maya?
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Oh yeah, I forgot he just got fired.
Yeah.
Chief Gant's done it again.
How is it he always gets the upper hand?
It's not fair. He has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said.
But Chief, this is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks to be considered.
Risks. What did he mean by that?
Risks.
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? I'm taking a guess.
Ah, it's the other one.
Oh,
Emma,
it was still Russian though.
are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. They'd been listening to the trial from the gallery, so she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No,
Sorry
don't
that you
be.
killed a guy.
It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved?
To learn that you murdered?
Yeah, now I finally know what really happened. To think that all
Now that
this
the
time,
blood is already on my hands, it doesn't
my
matter
sister
what
was
I
being
do.
blackmailed by that terrible man, and she did it all just to protect me.
I can kill indiscriminately in the eyes of God.
Whew, well, stop.
You ever I've already sinned the ultimate sin. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside to force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
He sure did. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery.
We're
But he
living in
can't fool
one.
my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait here? No, I'm going with you. Eh? I want to be there when Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this.
I'm glad fucking Edgeworth just came over to the defendant's lobby. Like, I mean, I guess there's no one he'd be talking to in the prosecution's lobby.
Yeah.
To be continued. Right.
See, that
now.
seems like a good spot.
Are you sure?
Okay, fine.
Let me scroll to see how much is actually here. Not a lot. Certainly not 2 hours worth.
Fine.
Save your progress. Yes.
Fine.
It's
Fine.
like every Danganronpa game where we just bust through the last one in one go. Except this probably won't take 5 hours like those did one time.
It better not. I need sleep.
Fair.
Did Gumshoe actually just do a We Live in Society? He damn did, pal.
He did. District Court Guard number no.
We live in the society. I'm tired of pretending it's not. You wouldn't get it.
Will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand?
Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. Please state your name and occupation. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course, the truth.
Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Duh.
Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant.
Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Gant in the fabrication?
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory.
Bullshit!
I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself.
Bullshit!
When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was not to get the Dark convicted. It has nothing to do with Emma. Well, that was a fat bunch of lies.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure.
But Lana!
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning.
Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. What if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Stop reading my thoughts! Whenever she speaks swiftly like this, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. We're way past that.
Right now, again, it's cross-examiner her.
Imagine if, like, right now, Phoenix is like, but what if I've been wrong the whole time?
And he just like leaves.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it! You say you did this all by yourself?
Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change the statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Doc? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Doc was only carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. Oh, just to protect me.
So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes.
Broke off the tip of
I
Dark's
broke
knife.
off the tip.
You fucking did what?
Excuse me.
Sorry.
I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted inside the wound, and moved the body.
You fucking did what? Hold it. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the wound?
Why? But
why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know me, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple.
let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body.
The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events were threatened by plan.
You mean the jar that fucking had Emma's name on it?
Yeah. The literal...
You mean that jar?
You know. You mean the jar that says
Objection.
Emma on it? The one written in blood.
Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered?
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
contradiction in my testimony.
You testified, and I quote, "The
She
pieces
broke
of
that
the jar
knife
that
with her
shattered
bare
during
strength.
the pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that?
It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died.
Ah,
He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar.
Or
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here.
Something critical?
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
very well, the witness may now continue her testimony.
Witness testimony, jar and message in blood.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time.
She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
2, 3, 4. Frames large, so I'm sure you got them all. Yeah, but did you though?
Bet you didn't. But you didn't.
Bet you didn't, because once again we found part of that jar in fucking Gates' safe, you idiot. Objection!
But you did.
Miss Sky, I believe this jar
I should
conceals
have
the
left you
truth
on that
even
street
you.
corner where you were standing.
Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it! She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you.
True. Big true.
But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece?
Objection! I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha! Can you believe that?
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant, but at the time he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar?
Objection! The question is, if he did arrive first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
No. No. Wait. I'm not the one on trial here.
Just fucking forgot.
God, that dentures bit really got me. Damon Gann arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness.
I mean, I've done that before with shit. I've done that with my phone. Couldn't find my phone because I was holding it in one hand and holding a piece of paper over it in the other hand and couldn't see it.
Yeah, imagine if Gann had just made his password literally anything except for all sevens.
Right?
I already read this.
Yeah.
He proceeded to break the jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication of evidence.
But why would Chief Gann do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? Leverage.
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Doc, sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet.
Ooh.
No, I did it on my own.
Please, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake.
No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Foul lies? Imagine
You're
that
my
coming from my own client.
I guess you do seem like the type who likes to twist the truth.
Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Lana may be right after all.
What do you mean, Wright?
So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Skye, please testify once more.
But
If evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But
yeah, as you say,
do
there's an
remember
extra twist.
I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Skye, if you will.
I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there's a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I was gonna say, there's gonna be like another twist where Gant just killed him in the first place for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'll testify about what I really saw. Because Emma clearly couldn't be a murderer, even by accident.
Right. That would.
All right, the witness.
Imagine if this chapter just ended like that, in what is ostensibly a kid's game.
I know, right? Like, obviously, she bumped the guy.
This 14-year-old caused a murder.
Yeah, he definitely stabbed the guy, because there was still the broken tip of the knife.
Right.
And shit. Well, that may still have been planted, but
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think that might be accurate, that she did plant that because she thought that Emma had killed him, so she had to fucking get him convicted or whatever.
Yeah, it was all lies on top of lies. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. Yet he knocked them out. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Yeah, dude. He did the old double murder.
Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor's sword.
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof.
Eh?
I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
It was in the book, you dummy.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture.
I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you
Look.
this morning, right? I seem to remember getting
Evidence.
something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Fucking sure.
Book.
Really
Oh,
just fucking-
it lets you investigate the PO. I mean, the picture's right there. You can see it, right? But you can investigate PO.
Oh, it just opens it. Oh. Hey, there's a picture here.
Well, that's convenient. Wow, that guy's super dead.
Oh my. This is the actual crime scene.
No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything.
Lana's picture inserted into the court record. Mr. Wright, that piece cut out from his vest. Could that be the cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What's this?
With the handprint on it. Chief
It's a
Gant's
handprint,
handprint.
isn't it?
He pushed him.
That
Gonna
cloth,
walk up to him?
it had
Push him.
fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints
say,
those are
I'm
must be the
new
real
in
murderer.
town.
What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Em. Oh, I forgot Phoenix took them in secret and then didn't tell her about it. Why are your
Oh,
lips
right,
turning
they
all
were
purple?
Emma's.
Turning all purple, Mr. Wright.
I forgot. I thought they were Gant's for some reason. Anyways, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Actual crimes.
When I arrived, I found
Oh.
Mr. Marshall's body impaled on a suit of armor.
That. Hold it. Come now, Udgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Chief Gant.
What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. You have forfeited that right, sir.
I'm afraid it's too late for that. Steven,
Yeah, sorry. What?
you already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort.
This must be the risk we were talking about earlier.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to
little.
disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence?
No, I don't, but someone does.
Someone?
So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt?
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
I mean, there's a lot of room for doubt.
If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Well, if
Yeah, I assume the answer is yes.
if we show the evidence, it's
Right.
it's automatic game over.
It's automatic game. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess we cannot show it.
Nope. Your Honor,
Yeah, I
I
would
don't
have
have
gotten
any-
a game over there, I guess.
I don't have any evidence I can present at this time. Well, it's evidence law, technically.
Oh, because it wasn't cleared?
It wasn't cleared, and it hasn't been proved relevant yet, I think. What?
That's
lied!
flimsy. I mean, I get the logic, but also fuck off, because this game has never cared even once before.
Chief Kent?
Yeah, I think it's, it'll explain it more later. You opened my safe.
He's using a loophole.
I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
Also, hi Duck Game for Life.
Hello.
You mean you had this in your safe? Yeah, he just cut out piece of the vest and put it in his safe just in case, you know?
Right.
That thing people do.
Yeah.
What? That means you, the chief of police,
That proves that he got there before Emma did.
Yeah.
have been concealing evidence? This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened.
What? You mean you admit it?
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Sky.
I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted.
When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe?
2 pieces.
But why?
For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
I mean, calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces.
But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate this message on the jar too?
Ho ho ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept 1 more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant? That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then before it was too late.
And then Phoenix leans in and he says, I have 1 word to say. Got him.
But the final moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Show evidence.
Now we show evidence?
Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
Yep. Take that!
Aha, duck game for life. Foolish. It's got him. One word.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of cloth from the victim's vest. Oh yes, at least you finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
But you mean...
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
Yeah, shut up, Edgeworth. Ho ho ho! You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy.
What?
Think about it. Wright had all this time to present this evidence, yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that.
Mr. Wright, do you really know? Yes, I do.
I do.
whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Just lie through your teeth. No,
Very well, I'll tell you. Should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Is it? The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Emma Sky.
Emma Sky. Take that.
Emma? Emma Sky?
What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Because I thought you may have murdered a guy. Don't worry about it.
Ho 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 ho! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster!
Miss Sky?
You know whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
What?
I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But
I
I'm
have
afraid
like
it is
3
over,
more layers
boy.
of chest.
Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy.
But wait, there's
What's the
more.
matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you gonna tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall?
What?
Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask?
It was Emma Sky, wasn't it?
I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is.
Bravo.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here.
Hit
Behold,
him
the
with
piece
it.
of evidence that contradicts this cloth. I think it's the...
Oh, hang on. I want to figure it out.
Okay.
Hang on.
It's something recent.
Is it just? It's just the photo again?
Yeah. Look at the blood.
Because because there'd be blood on it.
There'd be so
But
much
there's no
fucking
blood
on
on
it.
it. There's no blood on it. So it must have been cut off before he got stabbed.
Actually, let me check something real quick. There might be blood on the backside of it, but even if that's true, that's still... Yeah, no, there's no fucking blood on
No,
this
there's
thing.
none. There's no blood on this. Absolutely no blood.
Zero blood at all. Take that! And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it.
A lot of blood.
See where the piece of his vest was cut out?
Yes, his shirt is showing underneath.
It's
It's hard to make out with all that blood on his vest, though.
Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth.
Oh, that piece of cloth. It's clean as a whistle. Wait, there's no blood on it.
Yeah! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is just nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out.
If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword? Yeah.
Turn a bit of Three Stooges there.
A little bit.
Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it.
Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of cloth from the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? You could save others from death, but not yourself.
Not yourself!
Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No!
That one's
Finally
really over
all
the top.
Objection! Oh. Heh. Ooh, he's not looking so great. Oh, the music started back up. That was close, Righto. You almost had me. Eh?
Music.
Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
You see that piece of cloth? Is illegal evidence.
Nah, it's connected. Dum-dum.
Order! What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Oji? Earlier, old Righto here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
He was so specific with his wording.
Specific words.
Just like a lawyer.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
That piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Ho, 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 ho. Did you actually think you'd best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright?
It seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
It seems at last I have to learn how to use this law book.
Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth?
I did not. I did not. I admit I refused to present it at one point. Ha! So the evidence is illegal. Objection! No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Edgy, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe...
There's only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now.
Book.
Take that.
With the duck on it.
This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law.
Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department.
Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL-9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Objection.
That didn't exist yet.
Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented?
That was shown only a few moments ago.
No.
He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless.
The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. Yeah.
You yourself confessed to a certain truth.
Let me verify this once more.
Fabricate that evidence?
On the day of the crime, you personally cut this out of the victim's vest? Oh, yes. No!
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth.
The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant. The killer was you! Oh my god! I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum! For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me.
Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right.
If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Oh, hey, Ezzy.
Oh, hey.
Oh, Twitch shows you some chat history. Neat.
Neat. Usually it just shows nothing. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit.
He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all of this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL-9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out.
Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime.
Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
Then you put the body in my car?
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker?
I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments and the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court?
Me?
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone.
No.
Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy,
What?
looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend.
I'm sorry too, Damon Gant.
Damn. Fucking cold-blooded.
I knew you used to be. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator, an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning. There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes?
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky? You no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. All your trouble, is how most people probably would have read that.
My. What high standards you have for a rookie.
Eh?
I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top.
Oh.
Aww. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright.
Miss Sky.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Eh?
Great smile, I agree, Azzy. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. it was nothing.
Liar.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it, I only did my job.
Stop praising me, I hate it.
He retreats into his tsundere shell.
In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. The trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes. I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Not
Not
guilty.
guilty.
Confetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He treats in the office of the Steel Samurai action figures. True. Don't question a smile of that quality, Judge.
That is all. This case is adjourned.
Or court is adjourned, probably. Whatever.
February 25th.
It is very
12:03
long.
PM.
It's a very
District Court, defendant Albee number
long
2.
case.
At long last, it's finally over.
Finally.
Emma. I wanted
Not
to do the
guilty.
voice.
In
Of
parentheses.
murder.
Of murder.
Of murder specifically. Why the long
Specifically of
face?
murder.
I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended.
I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Eh?
You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. My headcanon is the confetti comes from Gumshoe. Good headcanon.
Acceptable.
Can you believe that shit?
As he subscribed
Ooh.
as he subscribed with Prime, he subscribed for 6 months. Thank you, Ezzy.
Thanks, Ezzy. What a trooper.
You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? 3 times now.
You're doing this on purpose, are you? Making the detective run all around while on duty.
And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Lana? Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know.
Well, I won't tell if you won't. Emma, I owe you an apology.
It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it.
That day, 2 years ago,
Eh?
was the first time in my life I ever felt panicked.
That's...
It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess.
sis.
I asked Ken to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong.
Eh?
I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew.
But sis, you were only doing it for me.
No.
Huh?
I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you.
Sis.
I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry.
But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now.
You're happy?
Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have.
Oh, Emma. Emma.
Touching embrace.
Yeah. Woo.
No one can change the past. The only thing
Confetti
we can do is
again.
strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. It
Brilliant.
is from there that we can move forward onto a bright tomorrow future. I fucked up all of those words. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Me? What did I do? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
I'm uncomfortable at signs of a physical affection. Where was he hiding?
I just came to say congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right. Well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
He was hiding behind the plantain couch.
It's too late for me.
Huh?
No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right.
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone.
I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now.
But Edgeworth.
Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Them and Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. That may not be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lon is talking about. Evidence, huh?
Oh my god, we
Something
need to
that neither
present
Edgeworth nor I
evidence
would have
in
been able to
this?
find on our own.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, man. 1:50 in the morning is the time for spam bots. Wow, we both did it at the same fucking time.
Wow, nice.
Hot damn.
Coordinated.
Double banned.
My god. Double ban. We
yeah.
fucking crossed the streams on that one.
It was the evidence list, because he had the other half of it. Take that! It's the picture I drew.
Oh, specifically you deleted his message and I banned him at the same time.
Excellent. Oh, I forgot. I must have hit the delete instead of the ban button. Oh well. Our counterattack began with this.
Do we always do that? Huh.
I usually, if you hit ban,
I've never noticed.
If you hit ban, it also deletes the message. I usually do that, but I must have deleted it instead. Oh well. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go.
Mr. Edgeworth.
My anxiety is through the goddamn roof. If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends I need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you.
I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright. But what I face now is my problem.
Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court.
Farewell. I'd better be going too.
Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon.
It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here,
Aw.
this is a little something for you.
Scientific investigation.
Oh, it's the same duck. It's a series.
Huh?
It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well.
Thank you, sis. I will. Smile.
You guys are
And
gonna
so,
run out.
another
You already
case
said
came to a
infinity.
close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith of their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover
In
myself.
Ace Attorney 2. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal.
Huh? What is it, detective?
There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, well, maybe okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had the wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here's the one who'll be footing the bill.
Huh? Huh?
What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
What? Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it... I suddenly feel like I want to scream.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Objection!
Wow.
Yeah.
What a game.
Credits.
I don't know why I'm clapping. Just felt right. Just felt good. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office.
Fair.
Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. No, it's two infinities. Dum dum. It's fucking smooth elevator music. You lied when you said that was short. That was like a whole ass hour.
Yeah.
Yikes! I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show you can't shake me off that easily.
Yeah, she's back in Apollo Justice. My favorite Ace
Yes.
Attorney game. It's very good.
I don't believe you.
Alright.
Yeah, that's just facts.
Animation.
Turns out I don't have to believe you.
I guess not.
Oh no!
My new mission is to guard the main entrance to take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm gonna make detective. Yes, sir, then I could be just like that Dick Gumshoe.
No.
I don't know about that one.
Doubt.
My favorite thing about Dick Gumshoe is that his name is Detective Detective.
What?
Well, dick is another word for it's like an old-timey word for a private eye.
Oh, I see.
Stop making me
Why?
look at him.
Why did you have to bring him back?
At least it's not playing the music.
Thank God.
Oh. Good.
Oh, good.
Good fucking
He's
riddance.
dead. He ran out of souls to consume. See, Dick isn't even like... Dick Gumshoe isn't even like a high bar to aim for, and Meekins still would never hit it. What is this? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Starr managed to sneak this into me. She's seen one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water?
I forgot he named his fucking cactus Billy.
Yeah, the cactus Billy.
Billy, the kid, I assume.
I'm gonna miss Jake Marshall.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The Right Way Lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer's as sweet as victory. Fair. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller at around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. That's how I make, like, my lunches. Incredibly difficult to eat at first, but eventually fine.
Huh.
Brandon Gay. Thank you.
I know, right? I wasn't gonna say anything.
I'll never forget that when what the young defense lawyer said at the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go.
Oh, hey, that's what the chair looks like. I didn't realize that there was a sprite there without the chair. I don't think he's ever been out of it.
Even in his final moments, he's completely forgotten who Wright is and what he said or did.
Or was, or is, or ever will be.
Or was. Hey, Maya.
Oh, hey.
Nothing soothes the soul like some fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium.
Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin.
Coming! Well, see you around, Nick. I still haven't figured out a voice for her, so I just did mine.
That's fine. That's alright. I mean, listen, I've just been doing mine for Phoenix. Because I figured if I'm going to be doing most of the talking, I won't make it intolerable to listen to.
True. Maybe I'll just not do a voice from mine.
Yeah, I mean, a choice that Swissy would never make.
I'm already out of the 2 or 3 voices I can even begin to do.
Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? I brought your tea. Huh? What's going on?
Letter of resignation again.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. He's already writing it.
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. By train, apparently. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything.
Apparently.
I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright.
They made this
Whenever
crazy
I want to
tunnel,
see
you won't
Lana,
believe it.
All I have to do is open this book.
Or FaceTime her.
I open the book. Hold on. Oh, it's
Yeah.
backwards because it's a fucking... Ah, I see. I was wondering why it's
Yeah.
the backside. It's because it's Japan.
It's Japan, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that looked good. Hang on, show us this close-up. Oh,
Yeah.
got a little hat. Saluting with the wrong hand.
It's fine.
Adorable. Yeah, but it's much funnier to imagine a big tunnel duck game.
A tunnel to Europe.
Big tunnel.
Cap.
A tunnel. We'll tunnel to Europe. Those bastards won't hide their delicious cheeses from us anymore.
You'll never see it coming. will just pop up and bang!
Clap.
Saving content.
We're tunneling right to France.
Oh, I guess
God,
that's
that took forever to get through this series.
And now
And I
next week we
despised
start...
every moment of it.
Oh, dang. And now, that's the fucking heel turn at the end. Josh hated it the whole time. all that laughter,
turn.
fake.
Ace Attorney? More like stupid attorney.
More like shit.
More like stinky garbage.
Alright, well, yeah, next week we'll be jumping into Ace Attorney 2, Justice for All.
Haha, poggers.
Alright.
That's a fat poggers.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen or heard of one.
Everybody, have a good night. Bye.
Bye.